Hello, and welcome to my Let's Play of Anno 117 Pax Romana. My main goal is to create a relaxing and fun environment to explore everything that this game has to offer. I've loved our start so far with Port Serenus, and before we dive into the goal of today, I'll give you a quick recap as to what we accomplished last episode in the series. We are just getting started together playing this game, and we started here with a small lumber production. From there, we expanded out a small farming village mixed in between these oat and hemp fields, which I really love how those turned out, as well as established our first grammaticus, sanctuary, and our villa, which is already growing its population as the center of our city. And finally, we established our tile production over here by the river, which is continuing to grow, as well as our first two bakeries. Now, what are the goals for today? Money. We need to get much more coin, and the reason being, we are expanding. This is quite ambitious in trying to move to a second island, but over here we have the fertility of resin and olives, which are going to be critical to our plebeians. So, I want to make a play for this island fairly early. Now, how do we make money? Essentially, we need more homes. So we'll be constructing a lot more homes. And for the plebeians, which are going to give us the most amount of coin, I want to start providing sandals. And the reason being, they bring us +2 income. And if we construct the sandal maker in our population center, it'll give us another +1 coin. So I definitely want to do that. And I want to start seeing if there's any contracts. So let's go to our closest rival governor right across the way here and see if they have any contracts for us to fill. Perfect. We're already overproducing bread, so we can increase our current balance by 50% by completing that contract. So let's go ahead and get that going. We'll accept the contract. 12 bread. Easy enough. I could see we had plenty of bread. And we'll get that sent over there. And in the meantime, we can construct more homes. Let's see. Maybe we'll do a double road here for symmetry. Making sure we will be able to place that aqueduct. Any more homes, but I want to make sure that we're staying around our service buildings. Just like that. And let's do another block. I don't want to get too carried away with roads, but that should be nice. And then let's blueprint this in here. I like the way that fits in. And has our ship arrived? It has. Let's turn in this bread. And we're earning. Way to start off with a win. Already getting close to 10,000 gold. And let's go ahead and start this sandal production chain. We'll have a salt pond. At least one pig farm. Only one for now. And we'll essentially be able to supply 2 sandal makers with a single tannery. So, go ahead and put this tannery right here by the river. I feel like it makes sense to have that water supply, even though it's not necessary, but it does look nice. And the pig farm. Establish these livestock areas. And we will, of course, need a warehouse. Clean up that road just a little. And let's build them. Make sure this road is connected. Get the salt pond going. And why not? Let's just build everything all at once as it speeds up production. And are there any other contracts we can do? Concordia, no. Collect some flotsam. Why not? Let's do it. Grab our ship. Set that on a route. Perfect. Now let's continue doing what we do best, building homes. Build a little bit of a unique looking block here to have more public services or maybe even production buildings, depending on the needs. And let's upgrade more plebeians. Plenty of them. Still have 100 libertas, so spend all the timber that we have. We're unlocking our research. This is great. Where are our spinners located? Oh, we have great coverage with our spinners, providing that boost to knowledge. Excellent. Just speed up our research. Now, just rolled over that 10,000 denarii. Let's take a look. Have any specialists that we can place? Sanctuary in our range. Provide more belief, knowledge. Why not? And don't quite have any of the Medici in the radius of our villa. Our health is only barely positive, so maybe we should place a second one of those. I did say we were leaving this space. I kind of prefer to have the Medici on the outside. Let's see who has come to join us. Now, we have a choice of specialists here. Brutus or Gaius. Gaius increases our income of plus 1.5, and the workforce by plus 20. I always love additional workforce because we don't have to provide more resources to the population. So economically, even though this is tempting, I think even in the short term, Brutus is a better play for us. Let's go ahead, hire Brutus, and our workforce is already increased. Wonderful. Now, let's see what we want to fulfill next. Let's take a look at our production screen, see as we've built all those homes, new residents moving in, what we need. Looks like Tunix is ready for an upgrade. Pilius, Felters, we're going to need more of those. Sardines for sure. Porridge right behind. Looks like we need upgrades all around. Let's get another sardine, and we'll connect this warehouse as well. Help support our trading post. And we'll map out that oat as well so we continue this nice blend. Wrap the road around. Don't quite need to build this yet, but want to make sure that we have it as we need it. And everything looks good. Kind of like, just like that. Is anybody getting dizzy yet? All that rotating? Bit extreme. Alright. this hemp. And after this, we need to expand, or maybe we won't need to expand our sheep production. I guess we did build the oats. That's alright. It's not very expensive at all. These early chains, not very expensive. Already plus 500 in our income. Alright. This looks quite good. I think it will even have radius with this warehouse. Yep. And porridge. I think we want to make sure this road is able to connect. Let's see. Filling this in. At 60? Perfect. Alright. Porridge will go right there. We're all connected. This other hemp field, all connected here. Let's spend our timber. Alright, now I'm feeling a little bit better about the island health, which is great. Missing goods on the way. And then let's double check that sheep. We do have some available supply of sheep, so we can just plop down our filter. Wow, that is perfect placement there based on how our city is growing. Love to see that. Let's see. How about right here? Kind of map out this block as well. We'll build it. This warehouse is definitely starting to have more responsibility in spinner, felter, another spinner, sandal maker. Looks great. Alright, looks like we have this quest complete. And we'll get some more coin. Perfect. Come on back. And wow, the lighting in this game always impresses me. It's a relaxing game. I just really love how these islands look and how Serenus is starting to come together. These trees are really nice too. I'll try not to get rid of them too soon. Alright. More homes. We should now have ample production to support these homes. But timber is a little bit of a bottleneck for us with all this expansion. Let's go ahead, send our flagship over to Diana. We'll buy some timber just to keep our momentum going so we can keep earning. How we doing? Of course, you need a road here. And we're going to need to connect this warehouse. Alright. Everyone should be fairly happy. Let's check our production once again. Porridge, great. Green bar, wider than our white bar. Supply and demand again. Sardines looking good. Bread, wonderful. Tunics, great. Pileus, excellent. Sandals, we're already consuming quite a bit of those. All right. And the demand for olive oil and amphorae is already climbing and established. I want to get to that island. Well, let's see if we can do another sandal maker. Does this make sense? Let's do that. Does it have a warehouse? Somewhat close. It does. Is it connected to a road? Yes, it definitely is. Let's go ahead, throw it back to 840. It's a lot more light for us to build with. And with the sandal maker, let's just double check. Yeah, we're still all good on leather. Now that we have 2 sandal makers, that should continue to increase our balance, which is great. And we're providing all the goods we were planning on. As timber comes in, we'll just keep doing some upgrades. Keep that balance increasing. We're producing bread, we're producing sandals, so let's invite more plebs to enjoy those things. Thinking how we want to expand through here. We're going to have more public service buildings. So maybe I don't make any commitments quite yet, but we will have this triple road here to make room for this aqueduct. And let's get this timber delivery. Then we'll bring this back and check out what that second island will really cost us in the island settlement. So cheap for some extra timber. Highly recommend doing that early on, especially when you have a boom of growth. Let's see. Soap will be another priority for us. Let's see what that brings our people. Population and health. Our health definitely needs a little bit of attention. So, I'm not opposed to prioritizing that even before we endeavor to the second island. Let's see how we're doing on that pig supply. Alright, we have some extra pigs. Let's see if we can put down the renderer nearby. And how are we doing our charcoal? We're gonna need, or no, we just fulfilled that demand. Or the supply should be balanced. We have 0. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a cautionary expansion. Let's see. Does this reach? Yes, it does. All right. And then the soap maker. This makes people less happy, but it increases their health. I'm gonna keep it isolated for now. And we're gonna need lavender. Alright, this I like. Let's place it very close here. We have a warehouse right next door. So that's perfect. We'll see what we can do here. 180 fields. Definitely gonna take up a lot of room. I think this section is all right. Alright, we overproduced our fields just a tad to make it look clean. And how many of these are we going to need? I think 2. Or 1. No, 2. This is 1 minute. This takes 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and make a second one. Paint these lavender fields. And these lovely fields also have an area of effect bonus, so people enjoy living next to them and it'll make them happier. Yeah. Got some great happiness, but fire is starting to be an issue. Let's see. These cause a little bit of issue. Mostly happiness. So our happiness is okay. What's our fire risk coming from, primarily? City status is really the killer. But this doesn't have any coverage. Let's go ahead. Add a vigiles. We're gonna go ahead and call that a fire station for now, like this. And we'll add in, I moved them so far, but we'll add those in over there. Now the timber's back up, we have that delivery. But let's upgrade some more homes. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Alright. Let's see if we can go settle this second island. We'll keep the timber on there, as we'll probably need it. I think we should have just enough denarii to settle this new island and start our olive production. Gotta be happy with where our balance is right now. With plebeian population satisfying their needs, it's definitely very good to have such a positive balance of almost 1,000 coin per minute. Wow, we need more soap though. And did we overproduce on lavender? We did. We did not. We're gonna need a lot more of these fields. Before we settle that other island, let's go ahead and do this. I love having them close by. Maybe the city center shouldn't taking up too much of the space. Don't want to encroach on our timber too much just yet, but maybe we can squeeze in one more. Alright, that's nice. And I don't know if we'll have enough room. Maybe, actually. Let's do it. Connect with the road. Let's see. Quickly fill in these gaps without encroaching on our lumberjack. Looking good. Think we'll fit in here nice. Okay. Lavender. Green bar. Looking good. And lard. gonna need a bit more. With more pigs as well. And how's the charcoal? Charcoal's good. Lard's good. Lavender. And soap. Wow. We are just using that soap like crazy. But we're making a good amount of coin. And health is just inching up. Love that to be over 100. But let's settle our second island. We'll name this Isla Oliva. Alieva. Isla Alieva. Wonderful. And it already deposited our timber. How nice. Run back to get some more supplies as we establish our new island. Now, we want to do both resin and olive production over here. Perhaps the full olive chain. But this has a nice area of effect of +1 health, and it's such a beautiful building, so I'm not opposed to having it on Port Serenus, our main island. Let's take a look here. I love the elevation. What I want to do here is send a road all the way to the river. Let's see. Build an early bridge. Definitely resource intensive, but we have more timber coming. And I want to start the city up here on a height.
Everyone should be entitled to some small indulgences. You wouldn't want your citizens to wallow in misery, would you?
No, we would not. Alright, let's pick up some more construction materials. And what will we need for these buildings? We'll need some tiles for sure. Alright, so let's grab some timber as well as our tiles. Bring it all over for now. We'll be focusing on Isla Olivia for a bit. I want to start off by getting some population up here. Map out some homes. Make sure we have good road connections, as our market will need to reach all these people, even in the outer reaches. Can't do that. Like doing a bit of chevron, perhaps, like that. Let's space this out one more. Get a road through the middle. Perfect. And we still have plenty of coin. Definitely grew a very solid economy before we endeavored off to the second island. This will all be our production. So we can go ahead and build our timber supply. It's okay to not be at 100% for this one, because our second island, we won't be spending as much time here. So it'll get to its max capacity quite quickly, even if we're not at 100%. Nice to now have timber up, population getting established. Let's throw down that market. This road's a little bit wonky. All right. How is that? Maybe a service building. Just a placeholder for now. More residents. Now, to get people actually moving in, we need to provide some resources. They need food to eat, so we'll get that going. And let's just provide the sardines for now and the Peleus filter. Looks all right. All right. People should start getting happy and moving in, so this workforce will increase. I'm not worried about a fire. Don't need a loan. No, thank you.
No one looking back.
And a patron god. We must have a god over here. Yeah. Ceres. Let's also devote this second island to Ceres for now, especially since it'll have our olive production on it. We'll start to boost that. Devotional research. Oh my gosh, we haven't been researching anything. Let's continue that. I want to get this warehouse going. Trading post was our first, and I made a bit of a misspeak, I think, on the trading post is not as useful as the warehouse organization because you have many more warehouses than you do trading posts, and at least for me, in the early game, I don't really build out a massive production around that trading post, so this is much more important. Depots are also going to be nice. Stockpile more resources. And I'd like to get to wells quite soon as well. Let's do market. This will help us upgrade more plebeians on the main island. Alright, queued up some nice research there. And the workforce is starting to come in. Let's check. Go ahead, place this. Fire is not a huge risk yet, so we'll keep our tile for now. Alright. What to start with? It's Isla Olivia. So let's start with some olives. Now this seems to be a little over or under 2 to 1. So we'll need, let's see what our demand is already on Serenus. 1. Just map out 1 for now. Now this is a great river slot. Kind of keep that. Two of these. Some branching roads. $160 fields. Good amount. Second one. We'll get those constructed. And let's go ahead, since we have the balance, and we should have the resources over here, let's go ahead and do resin and clay. Take this spot. But we're going to need plebeians. Okay, okay, that explains. Yeah, so all of the production of amphorae requires plebeians. I like the olive fields. This is going to be a little bit tricky. Let's pause this for now. And think about how we're going to get the olives from Isla Olivia back to Port Serenus. We can use our flagship, but kind of best to save that for quests and contracts. So let's see if we can purchase a ship. Bit of a military ship. Great story, Diana. Oh, hope everybody enjoyed that. Let's go see if we can discover a second trader that will be able to sell us a ship rather than constructing it. For this first trade route we'll try to establish, I don't necessarily want to set up an entire production chain around the building of ships. So what we'll do here, as the Pileus Felter satisfies these needs, we'll just build up the population here. And we'll end up having, I think, a good amount of plebeians. Maybe a bit overkill on the roads. And we'll make a placeholder here. Might not end up constructing this, but just in case, rather to have had it than not. Alright, now we've satisfied the Libertas, we can start upgrading our plebeians. Alright. Now, with 13 so far, and their needs will increase as well. I want to be economical here. I don't want to overinvest in production quite yet because we want to get back to Port Serenus. But we need population, so what will provide that? Bread we know definitely does. Grammaticus, no. Sandals. Soap. Alright, we don't have lavender fertility over here, so we could do sandals. I kind of like that idea. But at the same time, maybe we don't need to. Because we need 3 for a clay pit. Unpause that, get that going. Need some forests. Alright. These resin tappers. Map out plenty over here. Let's get another warehouse. Alright, that's not overlapping. Definitely plenty of trees over in this direction. Alright. And how many of these will we need? Just one for now, actually. And fire safety is going to go down with this one. Definitely affect a lot over here. I like the idea of it being close. Alright, let's give that a go. We won't need much more population. How's our flagship doing? It's doing alright. Slowly but surely. Trying to discover this other trader. Alright, well let's just double check our production really quick. Olives are coming in. You can see you have 6 so far in storage. Resin has enough. Forest, slowly getting together. Clay, make sure this is all connected, coming back. Excellent. We found her. Let's see if she will sell us a ship, perhaps. Ooh, I see. Perfect. This is expensive, but I think it's better to make this investment, especially since it's a trireme. This is a really great ship. Let's do it. Send it back. Where's that flagship? What's she selling? Not much. Taking a look at these specialists. I don't think we need any of them. But let's send our ship back home. And let's create our first trade route. So, our trireme, Isla Olivia, and Port Serenus will load up on the olives and the complete amphorae as we have it. Alright. How's the city doing? We got lavender fields, quite nice. Research should be going towards these depots, yeah. Alright, we only have 30 Libertas, so to keep expanding, let's build some more homes. Yeah. Rotate the spinner. Have our nice grid. Maybe we pull a diagonal at this point. Kind of like that idea. This will kind of come along eventually from these aqueduct reservoir. Right, let's see how this looks. Connect a road through here and through here. We have depots. All right. Depots take 8 libertas. I want to go ahead and do one of these pretty early so we can keep that timber. Right. Harbor area. Very nice. All right, this will keep our timber moving. And let's see if we can now add the resources. Or not the olive oil, but just the olives. Unload in Sorrentus. And amphorae, feel like should be coming through. We can just do the olive for now. Missing charcoal. How could we forget? Classic charcoal. Where can we produce this? That it makes sense. Need so many trees for charcoal. Let's do it here. Don't want everything to burn down though. Maybe we isolate it then. Yeah, let's do that. Another warehouse. Expensive, but to be honest, we gotta do it. All right. Great roads. Now the amphorae will start. And as our olives come in, let's think about where we want these olive presses. Our people are going to love this. Now, this is a great spot. Right next to the warehouse. And that's not a bad spot either. That fits in there quite nice. Let's do that. And how's our demand? 1 per minute? This would be perfect to have 2. Let's make sure. Maybe we go ahead and continue investing in olive production. Keep this road going up the river. Plop down another warehouse as well. Should have the workforce, no problem for this. I just saw out of the corner of my eye our plebeians, though. -1 after we put that charcoal down. Don't like that. Let's upgrade. And I betcha for these olives, we'll need just a few more homes. All right, that looks good. go ahead and build this, just because we have that trade route already established. Alright. And there's room for more. This is all connected. But we definitely need more Libertus. Let's see. I think as the needs are fulfilled, all of this looks good. We should get to a positive. Yep, there we go. And we're working now. Market forces. Jump back to Serenus. See how our market reach is now. Quite good. Now let's see. Now, first olives should be coming back here. Yep, first 3 olives. Wow. It must have more. That wasn't its first trip. No, it was not. Let's do it. Our first olive press. Our second olive press. Epic. Alright. That is a massive session right there. Expanding to an early second island, not only providing olive oil, but also building the full production chain for soap on Port Serenus and on our second island, Isla Olivia, also building out amphorae. Massive success in this session. Can't wait to dive back in here. Thank you for playing with me, and we'll set an agenda next episode. Peace.